Military buildup. Did you guys go with You guys actually went for the anarchist economic policy? Oh, Sweden's also giving us something. What are you guys giving us? You have given us one civilian factory. Things are really looking up for Ireland. It's been going pretty well. Great intelligence agency. I guess we could. Right now, what are we building? We're spending most sort of things building a military factory. You know what? Yeah, let's get one. We'll do this logo. I don't know if the logo makes really any difference. And the French loyalists have remade a monarchy under Philippe Pétain. 20 more days. 6 steel is not bad. That probably will save us 1 factory for trade. I don't know if we need like the zinc though. I mean, that's for radar construction speed, which really isn't that impressive. So what else we got? An honorable army, organization, entrenchment speed, division defense, speed, recovery rate, and planning speed. Women's auxiliary. Superior firepower, weapons, and artillery. I guess we're probably going to do superior firepower then, because I think we're probably going to go for People's Army. The entrenchment speed and defense, I don't think really matter. Like, we're on an island. I don't think it really means that much. So you're a bunch of defenses for our islands. You're going to be for the Air Force. Bunch of technology upgrades, which is nice. Area suicide attacks will be enabled. Yeah, as a 5% consumer goods factory is not great. So retention and base. The anti-air is meh. But I think just these two are pretty good anyways. Are we going to get a modifier every single time to celebrate the 1916 Easter Risings? I guess, is it still Easter? Is it still Sunday? It is still Sunday. I honestly thought that was Monday. I'm sure many people are in the same boat as me. It's just like not knowing what day of the week it is anymore. Okay, if we're gonna go superior firepower, might as well get that done now. So maybe do some immigration reform. Like, most of this stuff's pretty decent. More economic freedom doesn't sound bad. That probably will give us a little bit more, some more factories, which is nice. Research slot. So we get 2 research slots pretty quickly. You know, let's at least go on the world stage. Just keep our options open. The Belfast Steel Industry. Massive, yeah, fund the industry. Give me 10 steel. Save me, like, 1 factory, please and thank you. I still have school virtually, so sadly it's not a luxury. Technically, I mean, like, my classes have been a little bit strange. Some of my professors have just been, you know what? Every class that we had after the school shut down, I think like 3 weeks ago at this point, is this optional material and is not going to be on the final exam. It's like, oh, that's pretty nice. Working at home for over a month. Messing with me. Oh, yeah, okay. We're not getting any steel from the Americans anymore for obvious reasons that the United States pretty soon is probably not going to exist. So let's trade with the Germans, because they are going to be probably our closest friends. My classes are now pass and fail. How do we can bridge agents with spying if you can? Did my agency form? Okay, it did form. 21 days. I'm sure there'll be no downside to throwing money at everything. Look, we got 2 more civilian factories. Everything is going great. I mean, does anything bad happen if, Does anything bad happen if you do all the projects? I'm not too sure. Yeah, we definitely do not want the CSA to win. The American Union State or the Pacific States, it doesn't really matter too much to us. And Canada actually did not take New England this time around. Interestingly enough. Will you play EU4? I have been thinking about it. There's been a lot of updates since the last time I played. But I'll be honest, EU4 hasn't really been my favorite of the Paradox games. Like CK2, I've been thinking about playing that recently as well. Just because CK3 is coming hopefully at the end of the year, but now with all this, you know, global pandemic, might be delayed until 2021, which will suck a lot if that's the case. Why do you put... Yeah, I mean, the CSA is looking quite strong. But hopefully, you know, if the war drags on long enough, they just might not join the Second Weltkrieg. Hello, Matthews from Brazil. Infiltration risk. Okay, just go hang out in London. See what kind of information we can glean from that. Finland joined the Reichspakt. Not a huge surprise there. Any Navy tips? No. Because I don't know how to really do the Navy that well. Maybe Canada will intervene. Every time I've ever seen Canada intervene in the American Civil War, that wasn't when we were playing as them. They got their ass kicked. So do not put your hopes on the Canadians doing anything to stop the CSA from taking over the United States. We play as China, probably Qing. Not too sure when. Potentially after one of our current series ends. Not too sure which one. Probably not after Japan. Maybe after Greece is done, we'll play as the Qing. So I still have been neglecting the whole Chinese region recently. I mean, I think even like Indochina could be interesting to play as. I guess we could also play as maybe like the federal government down here as well. I don't know who's like the best Chinese faction. Okay, problem with integration. From the start, it was obvious that there would be some problems integrating the Irish Americans into our republic. The wealthier note that the lack of democracy as they knew in the United States, while the less well-off feel that their situation is being exploited by Irish businesses. Locals also have grievances as they feel the newcomers are stealing jobs from them, as well as seeing their cultural traditions not being kept up with native from Irish culture. Look. That 3% recruitable population, though, that's all that matters. All your opinions I do not care about them. Paraguay's declared war on Argentina. And there is now a totalist coup in Patagonia. Did they have their war yet? No, but they just had a coup anyways. Fair enough. Okay, so Switzerland is at peace with the Commune. It would have been really nice if Switzerland went to war with the French. Because if AI likes just attacking, sending many waves of troops into Switzerland and then them all dying. Which, unsurprisingly, doesn't really work out so well for everybody else involved. Okay, The federal government has collapsed. Surprising absolutely nobody. Good work, MacArthur. Your coup was very successful. So we're going to be entering the world stage. Yeah, the United States just doesn't exist anymore. Hopefully, I mean, maybe if the American Union State wins, we can do this one again. I'm not too sure. I might even want more recruited population. Give me like another 0.5%, please. Thank you. The only time America wins is if only the CSA and the American Union State rise up. Mozambique Bush War. That is crazy fun. Okay, Pacific States and the American Union State have ended hostilities. Not a huge surprise. I mean, the CSA is looking quite powerful. We'll see if they'll be able to put a stop to them or not. I'm leaning towards no still, but you know, we shall see. More military factories in this region. So 25 days. So we're looking pretty good. I think this is a good time for us to kind of start shifting focuses. So let's start putting some artillery here. I know we don't have a template for them quite yet, but that should be fine. E4 is the hardest of my eyes. That's understandable. I always play with like graphics mods in most of these games, because I think like the default map on every single Paradox game, except maybe CK2. Colin's going full dictatorship though. Look, you gonna argue with those eyes? He's got 3% more recruit population. Seems like a great time to be Irish. Okay, so they have added hostilities over here. So the Reichspact's a little bit weaker in Asia, but if anything, that means that war between Germany and Japan has been slightly reduced. Just okay, revolt has succeeded. Unionists organized protest march. Sure, you know what? It's their democratic rights. We're not slightly less in full dictatorship mode. Yeah, Victoria 2 looks nice. I do like Victoria 2, the look of it. But if anybody, was that at the end of this episode of the Japanese campaign that went up today? Trying to remember. I think so. I think it was at the end of this episode of Japan today, at the very end. Can anybody explain to me like what happened with Indochina? Because if you are not aware, see into your soul. Look, we got like 8 divisions, 7 divisions. I can't count. Oh, now we got 8. Look, the game is on my side. Japan lost. Choosing our friends. We'll keep our options open right now. Future of Ulster. If you reduce tensions, 2 civilian factories at the end of it. We can repress them for 5 free divisions. I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad thing. I would like 5 divisions. I might. Do I want 5 divisions more than 2 civilian factories, though? Probably not. Does the Red Cross not exist in Kaiserreich? Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened. Like all of Germany's Asia got annexed by Indochina. It was very strange. But it does make playing Japan much easier, I can tell you that. Reading from Switzerland, what is the name of the map mod? It is a combination of, I think it's like Quam's map mod and then political map mod 1.6. They're in the description of like my regular videos, not in the description of the live stream. But if you go to any of my regular videos, it should say there what the mods are in the description. What country would you recommend for a first-time player? For the first time, I'm trying to think. The first time I played as Canada. Because they are mostly out of the way. Germany can be pretty easy. Union preparation. What are you guys doing? Protect the Catholic minority. 25 political power. So things in Ulster are kind of heating up. Yeah, it's gonna be nice they could completely eat China without Germany getting in the way. Absolutely. I don't actually think there's any way for Japan to go to war with Germany in the current campaign at the moment. Who should lead the troops? Deployment of the Irish Republican Army will be sent into Belfast in order to secure the safety of the Catholic population. I don't know. Are you O'Duffy? Who the hell are you? You're Lynch. Why are you in? Why do we have a 1-3 when we have a 3-1 over here? Put O'Duffy in charge. He's the best option we have. I really don't know who these people are. Yeah, I'm not too sure how we would go to... The only way we could go to war with Germany, I think, is over the Dutch East Indies in that campaign. Well, I am not too sure. We can get quite strong, quite fast now, with a pretty solid grip over Southeast Asia. So what do we need? We have 190 political power. Let's go for like a weapon manufacturer. South Tech and defense. I prefer the breakthrough, but it's fine as it is. He was a fascist IRA member. Yeah, then I'm sure he'll get this done with fine. He should be okay. And the other guy, who was who? McNeil? On Franco's side during the Spanish Civil War. Okay. So let's go for one more into artillery. Only slightly more steel from the Germans. How many artillery pieces do we have? We have 27. I assume if we wanted to put these in support, we'll need 72. That's actually not that bad. We won't do it quite yet. Why in the world would anybody take Molchi? And 19 days left. Has Ulster... Okay, this has not popped up quite yet. Didn't the Irish volunteers get sent home from Spain for being so bad? I don't know much about Spanish troops. Or not, Irish troops in the Spanish Civil War. It's entirely possible. Can I upgrade any of these guys at all? By the way, this dude's hair. Come on now. Despite yada yada yada. By great misgivings among the population at large, the Ulster Unionist movement has been allowed to hold their march. The miserable day in Belfast, and some had hoped okay. Okay, so they're a little bit upset with us. Disgruntled populace in Ulster. For some time now, there's been a slow but surely growing unrest in the northern region of Ulster. Okay, things are not so well. You don't want to get this quite yet. So do we want to negotiate or do we want to repress them? When are you done, by the way? You're done in a week. Okay. Do we want suppression? Negotiate? That's what? 50 political power. No, it's 75. 75. 125 political power. 4 infrastructure, 2 civilian factories. As opposed to 100 political power and 5 divisions. We'll open up negotiations anyway. The Moshi Commission. Following the atrocities that occurred during the Ulster Union's protest march, the events of which are now coming to be known as Bloody Wednesday and by Belfast residents, the government has launched a full investigation into the military's involvement and culpability in the murder. Led by Richard Mochi, the commission has presented an initial report. Mochi believes that, contrary to the claims of O'Duffy and his soldiers, it is not the Union protesters who instigated the fatal clashes with the army. Instead, he believes that O'Duffy and his men were looking for a fight all along, and had planted weapons on dead protesters to give themselves an alibi. Shocking revelation, and many... Respect the commission. They don't to blame, but O'Duffy couldn't stop them. But the Union... I mean, what are you? Did I just give you a point into something? I did spend some points in the offensive doctrine. But you know what? We'll respect the commission, even though I think Mulchi is like... kind of shit. 2-1-3-3. It's not fantastic. The repressor unionist, I rise up. I feel like the fascist Irish guy might have attacked the protesters. Yeah. I mean, it's not out of the ordinary, or out of the I'm not too sure what the words I'm actually looking for, but it seems like that could be possible. Not sure how realistic some of the protesters protesting would be, considering that Britain had a cynicalist in its timeline. Well, do they want to unify with Britain, or do they just want independence? It'll be absorbed by a Catholic majority. You could tank switch as to Ulster. That could be interesting. I don't know how well it actually works, though. Status of Ulster. So let us do some negotiations. This should be pretty fast, at least. 21 days is not too long. The next one's having 75, or 70 days, I should say, kind of sucks, but... Okay, more people are joining into the Cairo Pact. I'm not so sure why you'd ever want to